hockey. We're all complaining about the officiating. Playoff hockey, baby. Tell me you saw the Jack Edwards tweet. No, is it good? Oh, it's playoff hockey, baby. Hi, Leafs Nation. Stand witness for Austin Lucas. Full biblical. Austin Matthews is the Leaf. Why do I watch hockey stressfully? Mostly. Are you in?
Victory puppies! Are you boys happy? You boys, oh Iggy, you gotta, come on, geez, what would Freddie think of this performance? You got a shot at redemption. Will there be a Game 7? Oh, hell yeah.
Well, it was a good series and a good season, but Leafs lose 5-4 to the Boston Bruins. No, they didn't, because it's not 5 years ago! Leafs win! 4-3 over the Boston Bruins! Forcing a Game 6. A Game 6. My throat's not gonna survive this series. Oh yeah, about that. Every single spring I get a cold and I'm like, why can't I shake this cold? And I go, oh right, every year I think I have a cold, but it's actually allergies. And talking is pain. But it's the playoffs. Play hurt. So, I couldn't help but notice that game was eerily familiar. You see, some people brought up, it was a very obscure fact that the Leafs once had a 4-1 lead over the Boston Bruins, and it didn't go well for the Leafs. Very obscure, I'm surprised he found it. It's not like well known. I got a lot of tweets during the game like, how are you handling this right now? Well, luckily, I was wearing my Fitbit the entire time so I can show you. What I'm showing you right now is everything I did before the game. I got up at 6 in the morning, drove to my friend's house to help them move. From 8 to 10, we loaded up a moving van, then we drove for a couple hours. Then from about noon to 2 or 2:30, we unloaded the moving truck. And you can see my heart rate was going up and down, you know, because it's a physically exerting activity. Then we were just kind of hanging out and having fun, and then we drove home. Then, starting at 8 p.m., the Leafs game was on. And this is what that looked like from 8 until about 11 o'clock when the game ended. 3 hours of stress. Now, let's compare. My heart was beating just as fast while watching a hockey game as it was loading and unloading a moving truck. Hockey is straight up bad for you. But then why do I feel so happy today? Woo, let's talk about that mess. So, Babcock changed up the lines a little bit yesterday. It's supposed to be Hyman, Matthews, Brown. We've seen that before. Kadri back with Marlowe and Marner, well, we've definitely seen that before. Also, Naz is back. Hey, Naz. Weird little line of Janssen, Plekanec, and Willie. Weird, but I kind of like it. And then JVR, Bozak, Kapanen. The Bruins have eaten the Leafs alive at TD Garden, basically getting whatever matchup they want. And this is Babcock going, all right, we'll take your pick. If you subscribe to the notion of the big three, well, they were spread out. Matthews, Nylander, Marner, all on different lines. But what was interesting, as Sportsnet's Kyle Bukauskas pointed out before the game, the Leafs actually planned on using Marleau, Plekanec, Marner. And then for one of the goals, we very clearly see a line of Janssen, Kadri, and Kapanen, which was suggested. In the first half of this game especially, Mike Babcock was doing work. And how about that game? Matthews, Hyman, Brown, new look line, new purpose line. Feistier, angrier, just a little greasier. And Matthews getting called out hard after game 4, just dancing early. Flying around, getting chances, flying wraparound, no goal. Puck flipping in the air. Brown out of midair, 1-0 Leafs. I realize a 1-0 goal about 6 minutes in is hardly a walk-off, but I just needed to throw something. Hyman and Brown often get compared to each other. Hyman's a bigger player, a heavier player. He's gonna lay the body on you harder than Brown is. If you go in the corners, Hyman is gonna eat you alive there, whereas I think Brown is more effective in open ice. But the difference between Zach Hyman and Connor Brown is they both just work harder than anyone else. Like, hey, I get that you're on the Bruins, I get that you're guarding the net, but Connor Brown's there. And he's just gonna work harder than you. That's what he does. He gets his first career playoff goal, Matthews contributing just minutes into a game after getting criticized, and the Leafs with a 1-0 lead. But wait, there's more. The second goal was bloody brilliant. Kadri in the neutral zone, just a little subtle play to Willie to get it to Gardner. He and Janssen, who were seen talking on the bench, charge up the ice. Gardner hits Naz. Naz and Janssen are both on the left wing of the ice, attacking Charlie McAvoy. Naz then cuts to the middle and goes straight at Chara, and kind of pulls up while Janssen charges the net. Chara's standing in no man's land. Janssen's got momentum on McAvoy. Kadri hits him with the perfect pass. Janssen with the perfect move, scores! Beautiful pass, beautiful move, but if I didn't know any better, I'd say they planned it. First of all, McAvoy's an incredible defenseman, but of course you'd rather be in a net front battle with him than Chara, if it gets to that, which it didn't. The other thing I've harped on already this series, and I was about to harp on again, but I might as well bring it up now, go 5-hole on Tuukka. Nylander had a beautiful opportunity to do this. He went on the backhand and he wasn't able to beat Tuukka because he spreads out so well, but he leaves that 5-hole totally open. And that was at least the third time Tuukka has robbed the Leafs in close because he's been able to do that. But look at this. Naz makes a pass just on the right side of the ice to Janssen down low, right at Tuukka's blocker. Now, if I didn't know any better, I think Tuukka was anticipating a shot or a redirect right around that area. You can see he flies over to the right side of his net. He even tried a little bit of a poke poke check on Janssen, but he doesn't redirect the progress of the puck, he stops it and corrals it. Quickly goes forehand, backhand, and Tuukka's just got no shot to get to that puck in time. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say they came up with that plan on the bench and began executing it on their side of the red line. Nas, missed you, buddy, and Janssen better never sit again. Leafs up 2-0 at intermission, with just one blemish. Shots are relatively close in the first, until Bozak takes a penalty for slashing Rick Nash's stick. Bad. There's the evidence right there. The stick's broken. How dare you? Except you watch on the replay and the piece of crap was already broken. But what are you gonna do? Review every call, foreshadowing? You couldn't possibly sarcasm. And the Bruins power play, which has been lethal in this series, starts going to work. They get a ton of shots on the Leafs. The Leafs hold the fort, but the shots end up as 15-6 for the Bruins. Freddie, love you. Now, first half of the second, I think the Leafs are looking fine. They're holding the fort just fine. They look like they know what they're doing. They're even attacking a bit. Then they go ahead and allow 3 odd man rushes on the same shift. It was insane. Here they come, and oh my god, nobody's back, and it's okay, we got bailed out. And now it's going the other way, and now it's coming back, and why are there people there again? And oh my god, okay, we got bailed out, and now it's going the other way, and what happened, you learned? Nikita Zaitsev dives down, and he accidentally takes out a skate with his glove, and the Leafs head to the penalty kill. Except Mitch Marner is down on the ice, and I could have swore he tried to act like it was his fault on purpose. Because he's lying there like, oh, I wish I hadn't taken that penalty call, me, Mitch Marner. And he goes to the box like, oh, I sure am ashamed of that penalty I just took, me, Mitch Marner. And the Bruins start coming undone. Because, in fairness, that is wrong. Nikita Zaitsev tripped David Pasternak. That was the call. I don't know how the refs made the mistake, as Zaitsev was the only guy back, but okay. And then I see them on the phone. Why are you on the phone? Oh, we need to make sure we got the call right. But in the first period, do you mind? I'm on the phone. Gosh. Like, they totally got it right, but you see why that's aggravating, yes? Puck bounces off the glass, takes a bit of a funny hop off the ice. Hainsey is beaten to the puck by Backes again, and he scores on the power play again. And the Bruins come to life. TD Garden comes to life. Here it goes, the Bruins come back. I'm watching on TV like, oh, this is terrible. I guess the Leafs are gonna lose. And then in the corner to Freddie's glove side, I see this. A fan with a sign that says, I've believed in the Toronto Maple Leafs my entire life. The least you could do is believe in yourself. That is beautiful. I wish I came up with it myself, and you are absolutely right. No time to dwell or pout. Let's go. Less than a minute later. Bozak with a great feed up to JVR. JVR drops to Riley, who's joined in the rush. Riley over to Bozak. Ha! Bozlager to the rescue. Pew, pew, pew. And the Leafs are up 3-1. Shortly after, Andreas Janssen draws the tripping call on Matt Grzelcyk because the stick was literally in his skates. Like, they really needed guidance in this game, like they were landing an aircraft. This is a penalty right here, just making sure you know. Ensuing Leafs power play, Chara forgets the JVR's good. Marner does not. Pass takes forever. Shank! He beats Tuukka Rask. Leafs lead 4-1 over the Boston Bruins in TD Garden. Oh no. And weirdly, the game got dumb. So look, yeah, I've been doing the whole ref shtick, and I'm gonna continue to do it actually, but it's not like they were against the Leafs, like they wanted them to lose. Leafs have gotten away with stuff in this series. Leafs have gotten away with stuff in this game. But there was at least one thing in the flurry of the back half of the second that made no sense to me. Let me introduce you to David Backes. David Backes is a pretty good player. David Backes is big. David Backes is strong. And when he wants to be, David Backes can be a bit of a goon. So he proceeds to mug Zach Hyman. He initiates the entire thing. Hyman does nothing. Backes' glove is off. Gardner gets in there trying to break it up. Chara straight arms him like he's going for the Heisman. It's a brouhaha. It happens in the playoffs all the time. So here's what I expect. Maybe 2 for Backes, nothing for Hyman. But that's wishful thinking, and that's not normally what happens in these scenarios. What normally happens is it would be a double minor for David Backes, and Hyman gets 1 minor for roughing. And I was close. Double minor for David Backes. All good so far. Minor for Zach Hyman. Yeah, okay, fine. I understand. And a minor for Jake Gardner. I'm sorry, what? Says here, roughing against David Backes. What are you talking about? No. No. Are you actually calling that? Do you think that's the right call? I think you might be making a mistake. You want to review that one too? I had a bunch of people tweeting me, well, have you ever heard of third man in? Yes. In case we all need a refresher, this is from sportingcharts.com. What is third man in rule? A regulation that penalizes a player who gets involved in a fight that is already in progress. This player is called the third man in and receives a game misconduct penalty so that he is not permitted to play for the remainder of the game. It is up to the referee to judge whether or not a player was the third man in an altercation. The third man in rule should only be applied when a fight occurs and not when players are pushing and shoving one another during a stoppage in play. Alright, now that we're all clear, was that a fight? Alright, let's make it more clear. Did they call it a fight? Let's be even more clear. Did they call it third man in? No, they called it roughing. Like he punched the guy. He was holding the guy during a stoppage in play, and then he stopped holding the guy when another Bruin came in and punched him. So the way I see it, that is either a double minor for Backus and a minor for Hyman, or a double minor for Backus, a minor for Hyman, a minor for Gardner, and a minor for Chara. The idea it was even strength after that is ludicrous and straight up the wrong call. Here's where it goes off the rails. Bozak takes a penalty, Polak takes a penalty, luckily the Leafs kill both of those off, 5-on-3, the Bruins score a goal at even strength, now it's 4-2, Janssen takes a penalty, and now we go to intermission with the Leafs down to start the third. Now, I see a lot of Leaf fans and Bruins fans bickering with each other back and forth. We need to operate on a level of mutual respect. The Bozak interference call on Bergeron, I understand that. The Polak slash on Rick Nash sucks because, dude, what is that guy's stick made of, peanut brittle? But at the same time, what do you expect the ref to do? Ignore the fact that Polak's stick went through Nash's? His hands are tied. He's pretty much gotta call it. And the Janssen hook on Pasternak was a hook on Pasternak. So the Leafs put themselves shorthanded way too many times in this game, and the refs can't be blamed for that, in my opinion. However, the Leafs went down 2 men there when they should have been up a man to begin with. Should have been 5-on-4 Leafs. Let's say the Bozak penalty occurs anyway. That negates it. It's now 4-on-4 Leafs take another penalty. It's 4-on-3. And somehow Gardner got 2 minutes for getting punched. But how could you blame the rest for missing it? He was only punched by the league's biggest player. That, to me, was the joke. Lost in all that was a great effort and great goal by the Bruins. Grzelcyk over to Corrali. That was just fantastic. Now we go to the third. Less than 6 minutes in, it's just a great heads-up play. Freddie, Zaitsev, everybody, they're looking at the wrong side of the net for where the puck is, but Noel Acciari knows and he bangs it in. The Bruins are within 1! It was 4-1! And every time the puck ended up on Bergeron's stick, I'm like, oh, ice therapy so expensive! Oh, death by 1,000 cuts, offside, icing, offside, icing. Followed by face-off shenanigans. There's a face-off shenanigan, there's face-off shenanigans, and then they ice the puck again, and now it's another face-off and face-off shenanigans. Puck along the boards, Hyman iron, and he gets the puck in his mouth, chews it with his teeth, and swallows it until the clock runs out. Leafs win! It was 4-1, and it ended 4-3. And thanks to the Ontario school system, I know that 4 is larger than 3. I also know that it is spelled with a U, and so is color, and don't you ever forget it! The Bruins outshoot the Leafs 45-21, but they pull it off. Questions because the battery's dying. Just please give a shout out to the Marlies. Sparks was terrific and Mueller came up clutch in OT. Yes, absolutely. The Toronto Marlies win Game 1 of their first round series against the Utica Comets. That is the Vancouver Canucks farm team. If I'm not mistaken, it was a comeback overtime win. And they were one of the best regular season teams in AHL history. Again, second time in 3 years. And they're getting overlooked because Toronto sports is crazy right now. So fun. There's so much going on. Would you ever consider wearing a heart rate monitor while watching the game? Well, I guess you liked the first part of the video then. Half an hour ago or whenever that was. This is a long one. I mean, the Fitbit will have to do for now, but yeah, I would totally do that. Is it possible for the refs to do a worse job than last night? Oh, yeah. Jordan, do not put that into the world, man. Do not tempt fate. Ooh, I forgot! You guys want to see that Jack Edwards tweet? Ref goes over to Kadri after he clubs DeBrusk in the head as if to say, don't do that again. That ought to be a free one for Marchand somewhere down the line. Doubt it will be. Oh! Oh! Oh my! Oh! Oh! In a sport where there is a new frontrunner every half an hour, this might be the hottest take I have ever read. Get Elon Musk on the phone right now. I found something that can power his new car and send his old one to space. That ought to be a free one for Marchand somewhere down the line, and you doubt it will be. Something tells me the back of Mitch Marner's head did not like this tweet. I just had to throw that one in there because people can get angry in the playoffs, and I thought you could all use the laugh. And you should laugh. Be in a good mood. The Leafs are alive. They survive another day, and they force a Game 6 on home ice, where they have outplayed the Bruins. There was the third period of Game 3, but a lot of that was score effects. There was the fact that they lost Game 4, but they outplayed them the entire time. And they got Kadri back. The Leafs have every reason in the world to force Game 7. The hard part is actually doing it. Last question. Can I trim up my playoff beard? Because there's a lot of unpleasant neck going on. Now before you go, no, that ruins it. Here is a picture of Nazem Kadri, who has very obviously trimmed up the neck. And that guy's on the Leafs and set up a goal last night, so I don't think it affected him very much. Let me know down below. Asking for a wife. Friend. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this marathon. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends the battery light is flashing, but battery's not done yet. And neither are the Toronto Maple Leafs. Game 6. Let's go!